back to Lackluster Gaming, the show for those who love to game but know they're mediocre at best, and we've got some exciting news. So let's jump right into it. First off with the shoutouts. The Gamer came in first, congratulations, good game. Chris Smith, Joe Harris, Abraham, and Randy Gomez's vlogs. Remember to turn on notifications and be in the top 10 for a guaranteed shoutout. So into the news! Oh my god, it's snowing outside. The first piece of news comes from Tim from Supercell, and he posted this up on the forums. 3-week card releases incoming. Possibly longer, actually. Our current thinking is that we're going to aim for more of a when it's good and ready approach to the card releases. Having to release a new card every 2 weeks puts a strain on the team to create something genuinely interesting / fun and worthy of being in the game, and unfortunately has caused a few card releases to not be as polished as we would have liked. So, we'd much rather release fewer cards, but better cards. Also, in the long term, we're thinking years down the line, we want Clash Royale to still be in a healthy state and not to have too many cards, which it likely would have if we keep going on with one card every 2 weeks, or even every 3 weeks. So, the other day in the video I had mentioned that Reddit was kind of going crazy because there had been no sneak peeks. Now, on the other hand, they did release a small portion of a picture. Let's get that up on screen. There you go. From what it appears to be is the end of a button with 2 words, one ending in a flat line and the other one is obviously E. Now, someone in the Reddit forums tried to piece them together using the Supercell font, and this is what they came up with. That's right. Team battle. Now, it is not guaranteed. Supercell did not release the information as a team battle, but they did release the picture of the button, and so far it looks like the M and the E are the only 2 guaranteed letter placements that could have been possible with the picture that they showed. Also, using the correct spacing of other letters and centering those words, it appears that this would be the best or only solution. But until Supercell gives us a final word, we'll just have to wait in speculation and hope for the best. They did, however, mention that they were coming out with something very big for Clan, similar to the Clan chest, but extremely awesome. So we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, our deck of the day comes from Dr. Maniruzman. He's been following the channel for quite some time and recommended this deck a couple of weeks ago, and I'm finally getting the time to get around to it. So let's check it out. So first off, I want to say happy birthday to I Have a PlayStation 4. He's also been around for quite some time, and it's great to see that you're finally 18. If you know what I mean. He's legal, guys, if you didn't get the joke. Anyway, let's move into the deck. Here we go. We've got a P.E.K.K.A. We've got the minions, the 3 elixir minions, the Electro Wizard, Lightning Spell, the Furnace, Miner, the 1 elixir skeleton, and the Lug. Now, of course, we've got 3 different legendaries in there. So, for the Electro Wizard, it's kind of a tough decision. You definitely want something with some air attack, but its zap value, like the mechanic that it gives out with the electroshocks, is really worthwhile, but you do have the electricity, so my overall recommendation if you don't have the Electro Wizard would be to replace it with the archers. Now, if you don't have the miner, throw in the goblin barrel or the knight. Knight might actually be better. And for the log, definitely the zap spell. This deck might even work better with the zap spell instead of the log anyway, because of the zap mechanic. The biggest problem I've had with this deck so far is A, zap bait decks, and B, Inferno Towers. So, just be careful when you're out there, you know? Use some common sense and set up some big pushes. You do not have a pump, and this is a 3.8 average elixir deck, so it's going to be very difficult to get a sustainable push going because you don't have an alternative method of gaining elixir quickly. So you have to play really smart and get some really good positive elixir trades on your opponent to ensure that you get the elixir advantage and blow them over. So here we go, up against this giant deck. Now I placed down my Furnace card. I love the Furnace. It's probably one of the most annoying cards to go up against in Clash Royale. I'm waiting to lightning right here. I'm going to grab some damage on the tower. I'm going to take out that witch because the P.E.K.K.A. is your #1 defensive card, and the witch spawning those skeletons is going to be a big problem. That's why I took it out early. Now, since I have those minions down, I also send in my miner, and luckily that distracts the dragon and allows my minions to do tons of damage there. So my P.E.K.K.A.'s in the back, I've got my Electro Wizard right behind it, taking out those barbarians, and the Valk is going to take out my Electro Wizard. Now he tries to rush on the opposite side because he's getting a little desperate at this point. We only have 30 seconds left. So he's coming in hard on the left, trying to force me to stop spending elixir in the right lane, but I'm going to place down my P.E.K.K.A. and we're going to get it moving. Not even going to worry about that witch anymore. We're going to send in a miner, and then we're going to lightning right there, and boom, he places down those barbarians, and it sucks up most of the damage from that lightning. The lightning doesn't hit the tower, but the miner is able to do some work, and the P.E.K.K.A. gets a swing off. So, there you go. Pretty cool. It's a fun deck. I know a lot of P.E.K.K.A. decks are coming out, but hey, it's great. It's a great card. So here we go into deck match number 2. I always mess that up. I always say deck number 2. Going into match number 2, just to show you how this does against a hog, because somebody recently told me that a P.E.K.K.A. deck stands no chance to a hog deck, but I'm here to tell you that that is wrong, especially if you've got 1 elixir skeletons, if you've got a log, or if you just have your P.E.K.K.A., because after the recent balance changes, it deploys in only 1 second. So it makes it very easy to use it as a defensive card against big troops, small troops, whatever you call it. Maybe not the smallest troops like Skarmy. Obviously he'll take a P.E.K.K.A. out, which sucks because it's a 7 elixir card, but we have an answer for that. We have a log, we've got the minions, we've got the fire spirits. So here we go, we're getting rushed with the elite barbarians. I place down the big P.E.K.K.A. and I put down the skeletons just to distract those elite barbarians so that we get a pretty full health P.E.K.K.A. coming down the lane. And then we're gonna place down our Electro Wizard. We're gonna put our minions in the back just to clear out that Skarmy, but it wasn't done in time. So now at least we know he's gonna counter the P.E.K.K.A. with the Skarmy. And here he comes with the Hog Rider. We're gonna place down these 1 elixir skeletons just to kind of distract, but we are gonna take some serious damage here because those 2 archers in the back, as well as the Hog Rider, are gonna do some serious damage. I mean, they do like 100 damage each to the archers every time they get a shot on your tower. So we're gonna set up again, and this deck, it might do better with the pump. If you can figure out a way to get a pump in there, that might be beneficial for you. I particularly like using a pump, especially lately, with these big beatdown decks. Anything pretty much over 3.5 average elixir, I kind of want to have a pump in there. 3.5 seems to be right around the middle of what a deck should be, a good medium deck should be. So here we go again. P.E.K.K.A.'s up in the front. Very, very slow card. We knew that the Skarmy was coming, so we're going to log right there. He rushes in with the Elite Barbarians, so we're going to use the 1 elixir skeletons and the Furnace to take them out, no problem. And now we've got 2 minions, a P.E.K.K.A., and the Electro Wizard on the tower, so we are going to get some decent damage, but the Skarmy prevents the P.E.K.K.A. from actually getting any swings off on that tower. That's no problem. Our minions will take out the Skarmy. We're going to lightning right there to get the... I was going to take out the 2 archers, but he places down a Mega Minion, and that's fine, but that lightning takes out a lot of the damage on that tower, a lot of the HP on it, and the log finishes it off. The Electro Wizard stops the Hog Rider, and here we go. Now 2 Electro Wizards on the field, and I'm just going to place a P.E.K.K.A. in the pocket, and that's going to pull back his Elite Barbarians because he was hoping that they would do a little bit of damage before the end of the battle, but just wasn't fast enough, and we get the W. The big dub. So now into match 3 on the Classic Challenge against Karan from the other side, and again, with this type of an opening hand, you always want to start out with your Furnace. Number 1, it forces your opponent to start with you. So if you're in one of those staring matches where you're both like not putting down a card, the Furnace starts pushing out those fire spirits and it forces your opponent to have to counter them, and then they have to put something out that you can defend. And now if you're in a position to defend with a full bar of elixir, all 10 elixir, then you're going to be in a good position to start up a counter attack with this deck particularly. So anytime the Furnace is in your card, it's not really a bad moment to play it. So we got a Valk coming in. We're going to place down these minions just to make sure that we take her out, and our furnace is about to die, but we got it back up in our hand again. But since those minions are out, might as well send that miner, and we'll put down this furnace. Now he's got a pretty decent, impressive push right here. He takes out the furnace. My 1 elixir skeletons are not going to be enough, and that miner tanked long enough to allow that elite barbarian to get 2 or 3 hits off on that tower. But our minions totally obliterated his top right tower because he spent everything he had on our left tower. So pretty good exchange for us. I mean, we came out on top. The only thing he had to defend in the middle of my push was that ice wizard. So didn't really manage to stop us, and we're about 1,000 HP above this guy. Now I placed down a P.E.K.K.A. and he responds really well by rushing with the elite barbarians, but the electro wizard stuffs them really well, which is awesome. And now that the musketeer is locked onto the P.E.K.K.A., we're gonna place the minions. I probably should have waited another second or two, but here we go with the nether miner push, and we've got 1 minion which he zaps. Now we're gonna log out that last barbarian, and that miner and minion did tons of work, just the 2 of them. The P.E.K.K.A. is gonna take out that ice wizard and is gonna handle that Valk pretty much on its own, so we don't have to worry too much about it. We just got to start focusing on that top right tower, and that's what the lightning is for, because it does 356 damage at tournament standard. So I know that if I lightning it once, we can get a login, and this guy's gonna try to spell me out as well. So I wait for his rocket, place down those minions, and there we go. Fire Spirit takes out the top left tower, top right tower. We've got a P.E.K.K.A. and our minions rush in the left lane, but it's gonna be a close battle. Those fire spirits are definitely gonna help out. They're also gonna chip away at the king tower. We're gonna lightning away all of those cards so that all he's got left is that miner, and he's gonna have to rocket to tie it up. However, our fire spirits are still chipping away at both the arena tower and the king tower. We're coming in now with a full-sized P.E.K.K.A., but he places a Valk, and it distracts him, holding him back, which is actually a good thing. So now we're going a minor minion push as he's got his elite barbarians. We place an electro wizard in the back and drop some 1 elixir skeletons. We log them out, barely miss the win for that guy, and finally the P.E.K.K.A. lands his last attack and takes out his tower. It was the closest match I played with this deck. By far the closest match I played with this deck. So hey guys, stick around. We got the roast rebuttals coming. I got a try not to laugh challenge coming. I got some more decks coming and a bunch of other stuff. So hey, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.